in Abuja Network Center will be taking a look at, some aspect of the election, which has to do with performance of the beavers, upload to the IRM, and of course the process up to the declaration of results. We've seen that some stakeholders are gradually talking. Some observer groups have also come up with their results of, their report of observation, and top of the list on that is that of Yaga Africa, where the CSO is calling on INEC to review the results, believing that it was an outcome of massive manipulation, especially at the collation center. And Yaga is asking INEC to prosecute, if it's possible, the collation officers at that election. And of course, what do we have from the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party? He says it's a mockery of Nigerians' democracy. And of course, Olumide Akpata, the man who came third with about 22,000 votes, believed that the outcome of the election actually saw massive vote buying and several irregularities. So we'll continue to engage. But one thing that is certain is the fact that the APC is hitting back at Yaga Africa, telling Yaga Africa, we must stop interfering with the Edo State election result. That is not your job. You cannot usurp the responsibility of INEC. Yours is to observe and report, not to question the results so declared by INEC. And we have also seen that the presidency celebrated the outcome of the election, and some persons in the APC and within the corridors of power saying the outcome of the Edo State election is a testament of the fact that President Bola Tinubu's policies are on target. So now we have two gentlemen to discuss this issue with us, one on the studio and then the other one will be talking via Zoom. And we have in the studio a chieftain of the APC, who is also a political analyst, Dr. Nelson Ugumuja. Very good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning, Nigerians.
And of course, via Zoom, it is on, is the National Deputy Secretary of the Labour Party, Obiora Ifo. Okay, you know how it is with technology. When it comes on, we'll of course have him and continue the conversation with him. Okay, so quickly, you were in Edo.
I was there.
You monitored the election.
I didn't only monitor, I voted.
So you also exercised your function.
Yes, I did.
Tell us about the process.
Well, for me, the process was quite germane. There were critical issues, you understand, during the build-up of the campaign processes and all that. Jabs were being thrown here and there. The polity was overheated. Statement from very key political officers who should, who are mandated with responsibility to govern, protect life and property, was very unbecoming, absolutely disheartening. But then, even at that, we also saw that the police officer that was part of the details to the governorship elect of APC was killed in the streets of Benin, in an open environment, within the public glare. And nothing was being done about that. And people were still making unguided comments. There was no remorse, a life lost and all of that. So all these culminated into the outcome we eventually saw. But on Saturday, we thought the sky was going to fall. We had an election, although it rained, cat and dog. But eventually, the result has been declared, and then here we are. We need to move on. we need to move on.
Yeah, we need to move on. But let's take a look at some of the comments made by some Nigerians and, of course, some of the candidates of the political party. You know, after the election, people must air their views based on what they have seen. Now, from the Labour Party candidate, but I believe that the exercise is largely characterized by vote buying, falsification of results, and voter apathy. Yeah, you were there. You didn't only monitor, you also cast your vote. So, from the angle of what he has said, what is your view?
I'll be open here because quite a lot of persons saw my dissatisfaction on certain happenings within the field because of my faith and my belief in the project called Nigeria. But as I will also say this, Akpata has no moral justification to make such submission. Reason being that he also paid during his electoral process that threw him up during the gubernatorial primaries that threw him up. He induced
allegedly.
It's not allegedly.
You don't have evidence.
Because I don't have evidence to upload on TV. So how did he emerge? Those agreed. There was an agreement. An Afema man has ruled for 8 years. Osumbo came for 2 years or less than 2 years. Then an Afema man came for 8 years. An Edo man is just wrapping up another 8 years. It was agreed justifiably. Let us be judicial. Let us be human. Let us be considerate here. That an Asian people or the Asian community should present the next governor. So how did Akpata emerge? Is Akpata not an Edo man? So how did he emerge?
The party wanted him.
No. The party didn't do a good job. The last election, some of us were APC, some of us were PDP. We casted our vote for Peter Obi because we believed in this person. Sometimes party is not about party, it's about the individual. The individual. The arrogance here is uncalled for. Sorry to say this. That's my opinion, though. You understand? It is uncalled for. When you look at the three candidates, they had their standing, they had their reputations, they had you can say each of them are qualified to rule Edo State. One is a senator, serving senator. The other one is a technocrat that has been tested. Is a global personality, if you ask me. Then of course, Olumide Akpata was national president of the NBA. Yes. So the three of them were standing, you understand, on a platform of credibility. But for some of them to be saying this and this, then let us go back to the drawing board and ask them questions. How did they emerge? How did they emerge? For me, the issue
falsification of results.
Falsification of results. I was in the collation center, apathy. But I was verified when I came. My card was verified. My voter's card was collected from me, verified. I was 648 on my polling unit, unit 6. You understand? In Orio 1, local government. So, Abiokula ward. So I was verified. And then after the verification, they snapped me before I was allowed to see if there's a configuration between my facial appearance and what I have on the card. And my thumbprint was verified. Then I went to vote. After voting, I had to hang around because it was raining. I had to hang around somewhere so that I don't cluster the environment. Hang around somewhere to watch till the results were announced. And once the results were announced, they were uploaded. I can speak for my unit where I voted because I wasn't an observer, so I didn't move from one polling unit to the other. Other polling units were there, Polling Unit 15 was there in the same Odionza Primary School and all that. Polling 17 was there. But I didn't have to start obnobbing because I was not in the ballot box. And I was also not representing APC in any capacity on that very day. So I went there to cast my vote. But I observed some things. PDP cannot claim innocence here. Labour Party too cannot also claim innocence here.
So
you cut across boards.
What did you observe?
My observation
is
personal. It's not for you. There's something you have.
Okay. If you don't want to go to your
no. You will spare me. Yaga is not an authority. They came as an observer. It's just like asking a house.
We will get to that point.
We
will get to that point. Voter apathy.
Yes.
Before the election, we have about 2.6 million registered voters in those states.
Yes.
You understand? But at the end of the day, if you put what
less than 600,
it's less than 600, which is less than 30%.
Yes.
I mean, where are we headed?
Yes, I met some of my relatives because I paid my flight. I stayed over part of the campaign process. I participated because at this point I need to show loyalty to my party and show a cause of faithful membership. You understand? So I was there for 3 weeks. I got out of Abuja on the 29th of August. So I came back on the 23rd. I was part of the build-up processes. We also tried to see how we can promote peace, especially Oza. Oza is hotbed for politics.
So why do we have low turnout?
Low turnout. Yes, the people believe that their vote does not count, will not count. So they didn't want to take the risk. Even if somebody is ready to give them 30,000 naira, what will 30,000 naira do for them? What will it do for them?
30,000.
Will it buy a bag of rice?
30,000. Which party was doing that?
I said I'm on air.
Okay.
But if you go to my villages, it's on the street. The party crying wolf now. The party crying wolf now.
Okay, now let's look at another aspect which has to do with an observation reported by one of the CSOs accredited to observe, because the baby didn't just go to Edo State to observe the election, and they have been observing the election as far as Nigeria is concerned, and they're part of the observers in the just concluded Edo election. Yaga Africa, they came up with a preliminary report which somehow is not palatable. If an observer says the election is manipulated, an observer says the coalition officers didn't do the right thing, INEC, you must prove them. Can you?
I will not take the report of Yaga Africa seriously. The reason being that they are not constitutionally recognized. If the Nigerian police is speaking, the DSS is speaking.
Recognized by INEC.
Recognized by INEC. That's
INEC,
what I said.
Accredited them.
Fine. It's like I have an ASEP who comes to work for me for 3 or 4 or 10 years. And maybe at the cost of my death, she's expecting me to will a property to her or him. It doesn't make sense. Do you understand? That's how Yaga is to INEC. You have to observe and report to INEC, not to the public. Why is your report in the public domain? You are supposed to make your report, submit to INEC.
Most time,
yes.
And when they observe election, remember the last election.
They are being malicious.
No, remember the last.
They are being malicious. They are being vindictive. They are being and undermining the authority of INEC, if you ask my opinion. They have no constitutional power. They are not recognized as far as I am concerned. You are an observer, observe and pass your report so that the organization can wait when they want to re-strategize. During the processes of re-strategizing, they can now put checkmates in place. You come to the public space, you are denigrating an organization that has given you think it is your constitutional right. INEC can decide to blacklist them or delete them from the system.
But that would not be good.
What makes it not good? Are they the only group that came to observe? Most of their staff flew. We came together. And when the plane was almost crashing, the airpiece was almost crashing, everyone was shouting. I said, you people are owing God tithe. Go and pay your tithes. Maybe one of the political party has also induced them. As for me, that report is one-sided. It should be thrown away. It should not be taken very serious. I'm sorry to say this.
Yeah, but
I also have an NGO. My NGO should have come to the field to observe. But because I don't want to be partisan, I'm an adult man. I'm also a member of a political party. Why should I be observing when I know I have interest? Can a lawyer represent himself in court? No. So that is why some of us have NGOs that can represent INEC in the fields and make reports, submit reports to INEC, not to the public space.
Yeah, but remember the 2023 general election, EU also submitted a report, but they made it public before they handed it over to...
This is what we are saying. These practices are wrong. These practices are wrong.
The report are supposed
if
to be
you
made
bring
public.
me into your organization, now ITV, you give me a job as a consultant. Look into our operational issues. If I see some dysfunctionalities or deficiencies, it is not in my place to put it out there in the public when I know you have competitors. That document is supposed to be submitted to the head of admin or whatever administration for them to peruse. I may be wrong, I might not be entirely right, because I don't live within the workforce of ITV. I don't work with you. It's what I'm told or what I observe that I will see, that I will report on. So why should my reportage be in the public space? See, these are the issues, these are the challenges. And they are also promoting the Nigerian factor, because nothing is done rightly. INEC should sanction them, because you are denigrating the office of INEC. You are beating up the politics. You are creating tensions. Edo is volatile, if you want to know this. We are all Edos.
I think it's peaceful.
It's peaceful, yes, because
peaceful.
Yes, it's peaceful because who is ready to eat? It's lonely at the top, very lonely at the top. You eat alone, you die alone.
Well, now there are calls for INEC to review the results.
What are they reviewing?
Yes.
What should be reviewed?
Yeah. It is
in 2016.
It's in the INEC guideline. It's in the electoral.
In 2016, Obaseki was declared winner. There was no fight. In 2020, Obaseki was declared winner, even when an APC president was in power. With all the gladiatorials, APC gladiatorials, Obaseki was declared winner. The INEC was very perfect. Last year, they did a kangaroo, a smoke screen local government election. 167 councillors, 18 chairmen and deputy chairmen were all PDP. APC didn't cry foul. It was good. INEC was good. Now, because of his godson, ISEC or whatever, it is also an offshoot of INEC. It was good. Now we have an election that was peaceful. For the first time in Edo, nobody died, apart from during the campaign when we were accidents here and there. Nobody died. It rained cars. No car was demolished. Peaceful, because the
35,000 police officers.
Not just 35,000. The arm-wielding boys were tamed, and the lions and the tigers were caged. And then we had a peaceful election. We didn't know that the IG was going to do that for us. Some of us were scared to even go to our village. Let's tell ourselves the truth here. When you know you are known as an opposition, because we're in opposition, even when we have a federal...
okay, but can we have the election reviewed for the first time?
What are you reviewing?
No, you said 2016,
like I said,
2020,
yes,
it was perfect. There was no call
because it favored Obaseki.
There was no call for
it favored Obaseki and his party.
There was no call for a review.
Yes,
in those past elections.
Can I also tell you
but this particular
that Eze Yamu had won governorship in that state and it was denied, and it was given to Obaseki. Did the sky fall? Why was the result not reviewed? Did the sky fall?
Was there a call for a review?
There have always been called for it because we are dealing with it now.
Particular one.
We are dealing with it now.
In this particular one, there is a constitutional provision
For
a
review.
review of
Let them review it. It will shock you. APC will get 300 and something because they counted our vote.
Okay, let it be reviewed. So
let it be reviewed. If PDP will get up to 200, let it be reviewed. If PDP will get up to 200, let me tell you something. Look at the person of the governor. I'm not trying to malign him now because I'm on national team.
Let's just look at the outcome of the election, the process and the outcome.
Yes. The process.
The process.
The process.
And the outcome.
The process.
And the outcome.
Now, you don't begin to engage politicians during election. You engage them from the start of your administration. A Senator Comrade Oshomole brought you fought him. Your deputy, you fought. Every other person you fought. You even told politicians that they should go and look for job to do.
We're not looking at that now.
What are we looking at? You said the process
of the election.
The build up to the election.
The process of the election.
You are the one fighting the Oba of Benin. During the process of the election, you took PDP's power. You took them to a residence, and then you ignore the palace of the Oba of Benin. That you got.
The result uploaded on IREL.
Yes.
We have seen and heard some party members, I mean those who have locus in this election, saying that it fell short of what is really on the ground. So how do you explain that?
I don't work with ESSEC, neither do I work with INEC. I told you I was not an observer on the field, but I participated during the campaign processes. Yes,
but did you follow the result from your polling unit?
Yes.
Up to when it was uploaded on the IREV?
It was there. It was on the same day.
Is it the same?
The same spot we voted. After it was counted, the result were the party's representatives signed off, and it was screenshot and it was uploaded. I was there. I even spoke with one of the sergeants they brought, Ishaya. I spoke with him because he had an altercation with a federal commissioner representing Edo State in NDDC. I asked him, why are you taking instruction from a civilian to restrict the movement of a federal commissioner representing Edo State in this state? And you are seeing a tag that is an observer. He is an observer. He has every right to move about and see what is going on, even if he's a politician, but it's not in the ballot box. Why are you taking instruction from a civilian? These are the piece, this thing we wanted to detail out so that everybody can sign off and we'll have peace in our community. I can tell you authoritatively here now, a particular party did not come. Part of the build-up, PDP Edo refused to sign the peace accord. A former president of this country, and the president of retired General Abubakar, came to Edo to come and ensure that there is peace. The governor told him they were not going to sign those documents. Is the governor representing himself or representing us, the Edos? These are part of the process. The process. So we expected this noise to be championed, to be promoted, to be projected. Because this is what they were trying to do. If we don't win, if they have won, will this become an issue? Will this have become an issue? Will they be listening to Yaga, Africa?
Yeah, but even the APC has reacted, wanting Yaga to steer clear.
Because they have no local standing.
The election.
They have no local standing. They have no local standing. They are not part of the constitutional build-up. They are there as an observer. You have observed, send your report to INEC.
Yeah, but
if sanctions are going to be, it should be part of your reportage. It will be part of your recommendation. This should be done. This should be done. This should be done. Not calling for a total review. You can say that to them. The CSO who said that should be arrested. It should bring proofs. It should be arrested.
Okay, now let's look at...
The DSS should arrest him.
Now, let's look at some gray areas.
Because he's trying to create an arrest in Edo State.
Okay, now let's look at some gray areas. You know, in every election, there are gaps and there are areas where...
Agreed. There's no system that is perfect. There's no system that is perfect.
Progress. And the good thing, you were there.
Yes.
You were voted and also, monitored. Within your polling unit. What are the gray areas?
Now, they should ensure not just a BVAS machine. They should ensure that each community that will be used as a polling unit is internet, you understand, compatible. Like my village, there were some fluctuations. It took a while before I was verified. In fact, we had to break out once it was raining. They were challenged. So there was a breakout section. You understand? Again, there should be shelters provided. Local politicians should be told to provide shelters, canopies for voters and chairs.
And the way it is,
because you come, I was there for 5 hours and I was standing all through. It doesn't make sense.
Under the rain?
No, I wasn't under the rain. I can't be stupid to be under the rain. Am I dying for who?
Okay, so in what area do you think that we actually made progress? Talking about INEC.
Yeah, for me, the material came early. The material were well guided. The security operatives that came, I salute them. They did very well. There were skirmishes, there were inches, glitches here and there. It's a human factor. You understand? Politicians trying to take advantage and lies. Politicians dwell in propaganda and lies. You can't take that from them. Lying, it's like a bedmate. Propaganda and violence is in fact it's a requirement for you to be a politician. It should not be so. I will not sit here and be lying. Why should I do that? INEC tried. Their material came, sufficient material came. Verification process was top notch. I was 648. My wife was 649, but my wife was not on ground. And but for me to the tick that I voted, my wife was not ticked that she voted. I couldn't have possibly voted for my wife based on the verification processes. And those were not laughing. And the police were on ground. They were not distant.
So what about the conduct of voters?
No, the voters were good, but the party officials were marketing their goods on that day. Please, like I said, leave me out of trouble. That inducement side, I don't want to comment on it. But it was being done in the glare of the public.
Did you see officers of EFCC that they are supposed to be on?
They cannot be in 5,000 units. What is the?
They were not at the police.
What is their capacity? My village, the remote is in Oriowan. Abudu, who is the the capital of Oriowan, is deserted. There's no bank in my local government, Oriowan, and we are close next to Agbo. There's no bank in my local government. No bank in my local government. I want anybody to come on air and disprove that. There's not been light in my local government for 10 years, more than 10 years. There's not been light in my local government for more than 10 years. The governor just commissioned on the 31st of August, he just commissioned a 1 megaterabyte solar energy to power our community.
That's a plus for the government.
Of course, he did well in some areas. It's not about administration, it's about leading the people. About understanding the pulse, the feelings of the people, about working in harmony. If you don't have a large heart to accommodate people, then you don't have a place in leadership. A leader, everybody can insult you. You take it in. You don't build enemies. Let me tell you something. This election was to settle scores with the governor.
Well, let's begin to wrap up.
Okay.
Let's begin to wrap up, and let me get your concluding comments on the outcome of the election. The good thing is that you participated in the election. In fact, for someone who spent over 3 weeks just to ensure things are done right, talk to his people, and eventually voted, can to an extent talk about what he saw, and the areas that needs to be improved. So, in conclusion, where are we headed?
Yeah, well, for me, I would just advise the governor to start packing up his loads and start preparing his handover notes to Senator Monday Okpebholo, the governorship elect.
Don't forget, PDP is going to court.
Yes, it's their right. It's their right. If they don't go to court, I'll be surprised. It's their right to go to court, and facts will be presented. The court is not a place for emotion. It's a place of facts and evidence. The fact speaks for itself. So if they don't go to court, I'll be surprised. Even this other one that came distant, told you're in a rally, you are coming with 22,000 this thing in a contest of over 5 million plus people. You are making or ranting that you're going to court. Well, you can go to court. It's your right to go to court. At the end of the day, the court will determine the matters before them. The law is an ass. The lawyers will tell you that I'm not a lawyer, but they will tell you that you don't come here to come and adjudicate your matter. You come there to present your matter. You are not the judge. Now we have gone past the voting, election has been declared. The next phase is the courtroom where facts will be presented. And I can tell you some things that I saw on the field. I'm being careful here now because my cousin is involved. That's why I'm trying to be very safe here. You want me to come and testify against PDP, you see volumes of information that will come out with facts, with pictures and snapped this thing in my phones. So, but we will just wait for them. They say they are headed to court. Fine, let them head to court. Let them do whatever they want to do. It is their right. It is their exclusive preserve to do that. For us, I will advise that subsequently INEC should train the politicians, should take their time, not just the who represent them at the field.
INEC held several meetings with political parties.
They should train them. They should train them. Should have certain conduct and expectations from them. They should engage politicians and train them, especially those who are known politicians, who are career politicians. Some of us are not career politicians. The election is finished, I'm back to my base. My children's school fees that they are feeding, they don't know that daddy was away. As far as they're concerned, I have a responsibility.
Thank you so much for your time with us on the program.
Thank you.
And apologies, the network, we couldn't link up with the Labour person, the National Policy Secretary of the Labour Party, Obiora Ifo. So, but, well, the conversation continues even after now. So, but we'll take a quick break now. When we come back, the program continues.